Good morning. It's the crypto day morning. It's the 16th of October, 2018. And the session in Bitcoin after yesterday's large move has, well, had a little move this morning on the 15-minute time frame, but staying within this primary range. Quickly taking a look at Bitcoin against Coinbase, which is pretty much the same. However, Bitfinex 6760 differential of about 330 points, 5%. So it was like 3/4% going to 2. Yesterday, when I reported, it was about 10%, and now hanging in there about 5. So looking at this on the Bitstamp exchange, again, this is what we see on the other one with 6760. A lot of the similar moves, but when I tried to get the data earlier today on this, I couldn't get it just to see how the price movements are going. But this will be, again, interesting to see moving forward. Overall, not much going on with Bitcoin. Let's take a look at the top gainers and losers on the Binance cross against Bitcoin. And when you see the gainers where the bottom is many 8s and 9, and in the bottom here we got like 2.5 into the 3s, altcoins are doing relatively well. So let's start off within DGD. And amongst its chart, big downtrend that it was in. Price action was 53.80 going right now to 750, was down at 530. So it hasn't quite done much more than 50% gains from its low. But it's got a decent 18 average setup as it's been slowly going higher with this gain in here back down to this 18 average and starting to look as if it's going to break out. 15-minute time frame, however. Interesting pattern, and the percentage gain is based on the last 24 hours. So that's why since yesterday, 24 hours ago, was like, well, back in here actually. But yeah, resistance here, resistance here. If it gets above it, that means we're breaking resistance on the daily here, and we could probably test into the 90s anyway. But let's take a look at another one with POA coming in second place. And amongst this chart, we can see that this level of resistance has been taken out. This is another one. Was way up here. This is a thing around 10,000. Right now at the 16 or the 1800 variable level. Was down to 800, so it's doubled, and that's like, ooh, whoop-de-doo. I mean, it's good, but it's not fantastic. In fact, it's really nothing at all when you've had this kind of a decline. Previous level which it came from is 2400 and change amongst the POA. After that, we got RVN. That's just a new one, so I'm not going to put that one in. NAV in at 563. And it's not 563 Satoshi. There's 7 decimals, so it's 5,630. But still, it's got the volatility. You go from 338 up to 915, correct back down to 512, have a failed rally up to 617, failed sell-off down to 441. But price pays. So any buying and selling back and forth, it's a pretty decent code. I don't trade it, at least not as of current. I probably should. But as far as a resistance level it could come to, key support back in March and May is in at about 11,800. And when I say these levels, I say it as in one, its potential for where it could go. It's been well before in the past in resistance, but the whole point is when these coins decide they want to go, then they would go. For back in here, you would have talked about, well, we had big resistance at around the 630 handle in here, and it got up much higher than that, but you pretty much were right. in at 630. And if you sold at 630 but not at 857, it still works out to be a profitable play when price action goes to the low 500s. Now let's move on to the top loser, and it will not look like that much of a loser. In fact, it'll look like the opposite. MDA down 17.25%. And this is the daily chart. It was back here showing a lower price. Got down to about the 6,100 handle. Now over 30,000. Got up to 43, but day after day. So you're talking about resistance here at 14. Yeah, okay. And then decent leg higher. Okay, 20,000, and it just keeps going up and up and up. 3-day term time frame. Well, the next level of resistance was below here. It didn't quite get there, but it definitely got within this range currently. And who knows if this up move has stopped as it has been going into place so far. I remember trading this a long time ago, and I think it was a lot more expensive than this. I think it might have even been like 003. It was more like a day trade more than anything. When I played it, I held it for a few days and I got out of it for a small loss. So that's the only play that I've ever had within such. But what a fantastic move amongst the top loser of the day. Your second biggest loser is Wabi, down 9.28%. So it's coming back to where it came from, at the upper end of where it came from, which is 42. Lower end, it could be a pierce below 33.70, down to even 31.75. It had the breakout in here on these green candles. Where did it come from beforehand here? 3-day term time frame. 35,000 now at 4. Was at 21. So you lose 90 what percent, or 13, 14x times volatility. That's what a lot of these coins will have. So if they can go down like that, then you can start talking about these moves. Oh, look at this thing go up to 91 when it's ready to have a decent size gain for its next leg, especially with the last high being around 59. All right, that'll be it for today. Thank you for tuning in and have yourself a great day. Bye-bye.